Everybody, it's Rich Oliver at the Mystery School. Hey, I wanted to give you a little riding tip today that you can add into your abilities when you do any type of flat track racing. We provide a program here called a 2-day fun camp, and our fun camp is all about flat tracking and running practice sessions and doing races and main events. But in the process of doing that, a lot of riders find that they don't have the correct form, especially when they use a steel shoe. So our steel shoe supplier, Gary Kinsler, who runs Light Shoe, he told me that what he does with his riders is sometimes paint the bottom of the steel shoe so that you can determine where the shoe is actually wearing on the track, which also tells you the position of the rider's foot. And that can sometimes be a little bit better indication of where your form is at, as opposed to just looking at a picture or trying to guess on your own. And so what I did today is I put 3 steel shoes on, and I rode in 3 different manners so that you can see the difference. So if you guys want to take a look at the first steel shoe, this shoe I used to ride with my toe pointed forward, which is incorrect, and I pushed down more in the back of my foot than the front, and so that would have been more of a motocross position, and I'll show you what that looks like on the bike. So if you're going around a corner and you're kind of a moto guy, a lot of times moto guys go out like that, and your shoe will hit down like that, and you'll get a little bit of wear on the heel and a little bit of wear on the midfoot. But your toe won't be turned out, and so you'll have a little bit of an indication that you're riding what we call moto style when you're doing your flat tracking. Okay, so that's how that one looks. The next one here is similar in position. However, you'll see the front of it's worn down more. It has a little bit of side, but it doesn't have anything on the back. And so that's usually a person who has almost the toe inward position, and they'll have their foot on the track like that. And they'll get a lot of front foot and a lot of the side of the front, but they won't really have their toe turned out properly. And so their hip will be in, their knee will be underneath the handlebar, and their toe will generally be pointed forward or even in towards the front wheel, which is really an awkward position to be in when you're trying to lean the bike lower in the corner, okay? So that's what that second shoe looks like, and you can see the wear pattern. Now the third shoe is the correct angle, and believe it or not, all you're looking for is wear on the outside edge of the shoe. So the shoe is sliding across the ground like this, and that gives you that wear pattern. And so when you look at your shoe and you have that outside edge burned down, that's actually good, because you're wedging your shoe, you're pointing your toe in towards the corner, towards the center of the corner, and you're allowing the shoe to work the way it was designed, because it has a curve built into it, and it's designed to float on that edge across the track. Okay, now that position on the bike would be what you see in most pictures of really good dirt track riders, the pros, and this is what we teach here. We know that you may not be a dirt track pro, and I'm not a dirt track pro, I'm a road racer, but I love dirt tracking, and I use it a lot for my cross training. And that's why we run these fun camps out here on our tracks. But the correct position would be with the toe pointed at about a 45-degree angle. Some people go back as much as 90, and I have the kickstand down, but you can kind of get the idea that my knee and my hips have turned so that my knee clears the inside of the handlebar right there, and I'm not going to get trapped underneath the bar. I'm out here, and then I can really lay the bike down in the corner, and as I get lower and lower, my knee just bends more and more, but my shoe always drives sort of at an angle like that. And so that's something that we can work on here if you come and you do some training with us. Something you can do on your own. If you have, maybe a little question, is my style correct? When you go to the local dirt tracks or you're doing your fun riding, paint your shoe and take a look at the bottom. And that advice comes from Gary Kinsler at Light Shoe. Let me show you my shoe, and this is why you paint it. You can see that the wear pattern right here is on the edge, and that's good. And this is all just scraped up from kind of walking around the pits and doing things like that. But without the paint, it's really hard to tell, what the situation is. You can kind of see it up close, but on video you might not be able to even tell. One thing you can tell is that I've worn the edge out a lot, and so Gary's had to keep welding me in new plates to fix my shoe. So remember, before you wear a hole in your shoe, send it to Gary so he can patch it up for you. Anyway, so that can give you a little tip on where to put your leg. And the big advantage of that is your own safety, so you don't get your knee caught underneath the handlebar if you were to low side. You also have the ability to lean the bike a lot lower, and you can have more of a tripod effect where your front tire, your steel shoe, and your back tire can kind of work as a triangle shape to give you the stability going in the corners. You don't want to drag your steel shoe too hard because every pound you push down on the ground with your foot takes weight off your tires. But you want to use it to stabilize yourself so you can throw that bike in sideways and really have some fun entering corners. And that's what dirt track's all about. All right, I hope that helps. If you didn't know that, now you do. And we've got tons of tips and riding drills and technique advice out here. Look on our schedule for our next fun camp. It's called a 2-day fun camp. And if you're interested, come on out. You're going to run on Dunlop dirt track tires on beautifully prepared tracks. And we'll do a lot of fun racing and practicing, and we'll learn a lot that can improve our skills on pavement or any kind of riding that you do on a motorcycle. All right, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for listening. This is Rich at the Mystery School. Our website is richoliver.net, and Gary Kinsler at Lightshoe is lightshoe.com if you have any questions.